Hey guys, it's Kathy. I hope you're doing well. I'm having a good weekend. Yep, today's the last day of my weekend. So then I have to go back to work again. A little bit of cleaning, housekeeping. A lot of housekeeping. I don't house clean, don't worry. Um, so the person that I was working for the last couple weeks that has taken me away from finding good videos is coming back this week, Thursday. So I'm going in Thursday. So again, I'll still be there as much as before. But if she does well, then I get my time free again. So excited. So today we have a plethora of good videos. I love it. I love the first one. The first one's my favorite. Um, Not to make the other ones mad or jealous, but the first one's superior. I'm going to play it first. And we're going to end with Victoria because we love Shackleford. So here we go. Let's get into this.
Mr. McCall with Mr. Sher. Let's get Mr. Sher's video on. And this is 10C02 2106 F6679 and 2206 F6690. Mr. McCall, what are we thinking today?
Well, Judge, after we're here, Mr. Sher got into an IOP. I've not seen any proof that he completed that IOP. He is living with his grandparents. The time that he has on the shelf, Judge, I calculated some time ago based upon his stay for mental evaluation and competency, less than 80 days on the shelf. So I'm not sure. He's got the two underlying cases. I'm not sure what the state's position is at this particular point since he's been out. I know we've been having, and I know this not because I'm missing, but he's been having trouble with medication regulation, getting it right, which has had some bearing on following through with certain things that have been requested by myself. I'm really not sure today. I think we've already admitted.
I can't remember.
Or maybe at one point we did.
Is he, who's the probation officer on that? Is that Rupert?
I think.
Have you been working with Rupert on what?
I had talked to Rupert some time ago, and this has been, I don't know, Rupert is for the first of the year, when he got into the ILP, I had him into that, and he was, through, Wellstone, and he was doing that on a regular basis. What day he may have ended that, I'm not sure, because I'm not having any communication with him about when that stopped.
So Rupert, what are your thoughts on Mr. Sher today?
Well, I will modify my statement to ask that he serve out all his time with HIP community corrections.
Yeah, they won't take him.
No.
I mean, they would take him. I could order it. Ms. McCray, what is the state's recommendation if Mr. Sher has or admits today?
Judge, I've got my hands tied here. I know that Mr. Sher has taken a lot of steps to try to get his situation together, but the fact of the matter is that there was multiple violations, two of which constituted new offenses, as well as missed appointments. So I don't really have much wiggle room or authority to agree to anything but a revocation.
Yeah. So we're kind of left with community correction over their objection almost is what we're doing.
Well, he does have the place where he's been at and been living.
And where is that?
With his grandparents here in
Okay.
Jeffersonville.
I was hoping there
He's
was some restrictions he had been under. I could call it credit time, but
Well, I've not been able to, there was a furlough to the Oxford House at one point that the court gave. And, of course, that fell through, but there was time there that I've not taken into account. So I mean, we're really down to a small amount of time. If the court were to give credit for a furlough, I don't know if the court would.
it would have to be something significant, and Oxford House wouldn't count.
No, it was not probably only about 30 something days anyway. But he is in a position to do the HIP. like I said, Judge, it's more continuing on with the medication monitoring than it is
Yeah.
anything else. And that's been the issue all along.
And you think we've already had an admission? You know what, even if we do, I'm just gonna do it again just to make sure. All right, Mr. Shore, here's where we are. You have the right to a contested hearing today, and you can fight this thing tooth and nail and parallel argue for you and call witnesses and cross-examine everybody. You also, if you were to lose that hearing, you have the right to appeal that all the way up to the Supreme Court if they would accept it. And for that entire process, you have the right to a public defender representing you free of charge if you could no longer afford Mr. McCall. If you admit today, you would be giving up all those rights. Do you understand that, sir? Oh, you're muted, Jason. Let me get you unmuted. Hold on. Hold on. You got to unmute yourself where I can hear you. Jason, you're muted.
Leave him muted. Leave him. His audio is not the
Jason,
greatest,
until you unmute, I can't hear anything here.
and that's
So-
good.
There we go.
What I violated for was because I went to Face the Change and they had everybody go to Healing Place. One of their workers got fired and they realized I hadn't went to Healing Place yet. Strawbridge came by the house after I had already called and left a message letting them know I was going to go to Healing Place for like a week. And because I was 2 days late at Healing Place, because they kept me 2 days longer, he went to my halfway house and then violated me. So I didn't violate for doing anything wrong. And then when I violated, I got arrested like 2 days later.
Jason, you
And I
got
really didn't violate anything. Like right now, I'm in IOP classes. He told me to let them know when I get out of IOP classes and then go check down with that community corrections thing. My time served and all the rehabs I've done, you told me that each one that I went,
You can hear us. I'm trying to mute it, the thing's messed up.
and I should be served out right now.
There we go. I couldn't even mute him because the connection was bad enough. So, Mr. Sher, here's the problem. You weren't violated for the things that you were talking about. You were violated because you committed the offenses of possession of methamphetamine, possession of paraphernalia twice, and then another charge of theft and missed appointment. So you've got the multiple two criminal cases filed against you. We can get you unmuted again.
To do that, we already took a plea on this, and right now my probation should be served out because I served 2 for 1, and I'm supposed to get 1 for 2. So that canceled the one out. I was already on the 2nd year of probation again, and then that theft was for me walking up and grabbing a bag of ice after the one I just grabbed busted. Okay, I didn't steal anything. I even showed the cop that, like I showed him my receipt when they came to my house. And then the one that you're talking about, I was Terry frisked 4 times, taken to the hospital, and then down to the jail. And they never found anything until he just magically shows back up after walking out of the room at the hospital and walking back in and saying, "What's this?" Okay, so he still never even showed me what the hell he found.
He's been framed.
So I'm not trying to be a dick, but I did not get found on anything that
Yo!
violated me. All I did was get rearrested again. And the police chief was actually on the phone. Like Kavanaugh was on the phone with the one that you're talking about with Hunter as the arresting or the pullover. He broke probably 90 traffic laws to come ride my tail end. I wasn't breaking any laws, breaking anything. He lied about handing me my ID back and saying I was free to go. I asked him I was free to go. He handed me the ID back. He said I want to search your car. They wrote it up in the report as I told him he could go, and like, he botched his whole little side of the report. So those two things that I didn't violate at all.
All right, Mr.
And
Sher,
then
let me explain a couple things.
I the time I had to do for probation. I completed.
Zoom is not working at all with him. So we're gonna have to set this for in-person, Perry. I'll let you figure out what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna send him community correction. I thought I was over the objection, but I think it's devolved. So I'm not gonna send.
I know that you think this guy was the star of this show. Oh, he's not. Wait till his lawyer speaks.
In the community correction over the objections.
Can you hear me?
Yes, he can hear
He
you.
can hear you.
Yeah.
Jason, I don't know what you're talking about.
He-
Number one.
He can, but he's not listening.
No, what you're talking about, number one, you indicated you were gonna go to treatment. That was why the court released you before. You were supposed to do a treatment program. You were supposed to then go to the IOP because the other didn't work out for you. No, you didn't. I'm tired of listening to you, okay? I'm tired of listening to your excuse. You did not complete it. You did not complete it. You're not in it today. So you agreed to do things that you haven't done. So we're gonna have a hearing, you're gonna be here in person, bring yourself to court, the court's gonna give you a date, and you can explain all this to the court and see what they do. We're not doing this anymore, not doing it. So,
Mr.
soon
Sher,
date, Judge.
April the 2nd, Mr. Sher, I need you in person in the courtroom at 9 a.m., April the 2nd, because here's the thing, you have the right to cross-examine all the people you want to cross-examine. You have the right to put, I know I can't, Mr. Sher, I'm keeping you muted because you're not listening, you're talking instead. April the 2nd, you can be here in person, and we're going to have the opportunity to cross-examine whoever you want to cross-examine, call whichever witnesses you want to call. You need to have an appointment with Mr. McCall first. Mr. Sher, stop talking. Mr. Sher, stop talking, or I'm going to find you in contempt.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
Well, let's go ahead and do this.
Ah, Judge, that's rude. He kicked him out.
Lost his video too.
What's the date on that, Judge?
April 2nd. So I was going to
At
just,
9, Judge.
yeah, I was just going to unmute him so I could find him in contempt. Honestly, I'm just going to kick him out so we don't get across that way. Make sure he knows to be here April 2nd in person. All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And Ms. McCray, that'll be contested, highly contested, I presume. So
I'm gonna let him represent himself, I
Yeah.
assume, because that's what he.
I don't think you have any option here.
Z, how you feel? You get the flu?
The kids are, I'm praying for the best. I'm praying for no phone calls from school today.
Okay, but you didn't get it?
I'm fine, thankfully. Max is in trial today, so I'm praying for him too.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right, thank you.
Thanks, sir. So I've got a note from a text from Miss Gray. So she's having problems with her software, so she did not know that Mr. Taylor was on.
Okay, so the judge kicked him out, but the interesting part was the very end, what they were saying after that. The lawyer, his lawyer who just got done screaming at him in court, said, unless, you know what, I assumed that was his lawyer. It has to be his lawyer. That has to be his lawyer because Cynthia is the prosecutor. I know that. She's the prosecutor. I thought maybe he could have been the probation officer, but he's not because he just sat there and he said, I'm going to let him represent himself. But a lawyer can't just do that, right? They can formally withdraw from a case and go in front of the judge and ask permission. But he can't just say, I'm just going to let him represent himself, right? Anyway, so I don't know what's going to happen with this guy. This guy has anger management issues and the comprehension issues. And it doesn't matter if I break the law this way. This way is what doesn't count. Yeah, he would not shut up at all. You're right, Jay, Mom. He would not shut up. That's why he kicked him out of the court. But his lawyer can't just say, I'm just going to let him represent himself. And then the judge agrees with it. Oh, well. Let's go to a guy who gets some facts from a judge. Facts.
And I think the warrant was served. Rhonda Diamond.
I'm not showing her something, sir.
No?
No.
Okay, so I accidentally got the very first few seconds of Rhonda Diamond because I think when I was recording this part is funny because they actually laugh at her here, which is not professional in the slightest. So we're probably going to see these first few seconds again because I actually also got the Rhonda Diamond case.
Served on 1:30.
She refused to come to court. She was in custody on the 26th, refused to come to court. Your Honor issued a bench warrant that was served on the 30th.
She should be in custody.
Yeah.
Right here. Okay.
Oh. There was no mark next to it.
Here she is. All right, so she refused to come to court. I issued a warrant. She's here now. I'm gonna vacate that warrant. What are we doing?
Judge, she also refused to see me at the jail.
Hey, ma'am, you wanna take advantage of having a lawyer or do you wanna fight solo? All right, so you're waiving your right to have a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay,
So you're gonna have to, you have the short form of the waiver of attorney jail, or you have that 6-page or 3-page waiver? Scott, pardon? You checking?
I have the 1-page one.
Oh, great. Have her sit down, do the 1-page one, and then email it to Scott, will you? Please? All right. Hey, ma'am, have a seat. I'm gonna have you go through that form. All right. That it for you?
Yep.
I'll let you know. if
Here
she
they laugh at
changes
her.
her mind. She might change her mind.
Rude, rude, rude.
Let's say this. So let's say that she didn't want to represent herself, but she didn't be represented by you. When would you plan on coming back?
Could we do March 6th?
Okay, so
Yeah.
if you hear from the court, hey, you need to be here on March 6th, you'll know that she changed her mind. If you don't hear anything from us, that means you're out.
Okay.
All right?
Thank
So
you.
sit around here. All right, so Ted Ballin? I'm sorry?
What was Diamond's court date again?
Well, I'll talk to her when she comes up, but if she doesn't want to, if she wants to keep her lawyer, her next court date would be March, what did I say, 8th? 6th, March 6th. Mr. Ballin, you're here because the probation department filed a violation report. They are alleging that you tested positive for THC, that you missed some drug screens, failed to submit the drug urine screens, you failed to participate in the GED program, and you failed to complete counseling. Those are the allegations. State is required to prove only one of these allegations. They only have to prove one by preponderance of the evidence. This is a civil matter in nature because, that's what the statute says, and that's what the case law says in interpreting the statute. What are your plans in regard to this case? You gonna hire a lawyer, or what are you gonna do, sir?
I would include my public defender.
Well, unless you want an evidentiary hearing, I'm not sure you're entitled to have a public defender because this is a civil matter. So are you asking for an evidentiary hearing, sir?
I don't know what that is.
Well, you want to have the state prove it, because if you want the state to prove the allegations, I'll appoint the public defender. If not, I don't think you're entitled to one.
No, I mean, I'm admitting that I was wrong, my grandma just passed away last week, and I'm really trying to focus on what I can do right. I went to the Excel Center twice and I failed the GED twice.
Okay.
I've been to Oakland and failed that, yes. I
Well, according to the Excel Center, you failed to appear for orientation.
Yeah, that was on January 12th.
Well, May 23rd, 2023, the defendant was ordered to continue at Excel Center. See what's going on. And so this is the second time we've been here. The first time we dismissed the petition. I dismissed it and allowed you to continue on probation, and then,
I do apologize.
No, it's not. Yeah, I know, but sir, you're not trying, that's the issue, because it says here that on December 12th, 2023, you stated you had orientation in January 2024, that you failed to appear even for orientation. So we were here in December and you didn't follow through, and then you tested dirty. You tested dirty for THC on December 15th, 22nd, 29th, and January 5th. I'm not gonna consider things that happened in June because that would be prior to the last time you were here. So you failed to submit your drug screen on January 12th. You were ordered to do low-risk substance abuse counseling. You didn't do that either. Now that covers the period. I just don't understand this, sir. Why would you, I mean, I guess you want to spend your time in jail.
No, Your Honor, that's not right. I have a lot going on right now. And I want
Look at it, 4 years, sir. Well, you're looking at 4 years in prison.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm aware of that. I do apologize. for
See,
that.
but if people want to help themselves, if they want to help themselves, I wouldn't be talking to you right now because you'd be doing what you're supposed to do to help yourself. The fact that your grandmother died last week, I'm sorry to hear that, but a lot of this stuff comes up before your grandmother passed away. So you really can't use that as a crutch to say, gee, I'm going through this hard time. You were screwing up before that.
Yeah, and I never got to amount to anything from my grandma, and this is the reason that I could just prove to her that I can do right.
Yeah, and if your grandmother, and if you'd have done everything you were supposed to do, your grandmother would be proud of you when she passed away, but you didn't.
Ouch, low blow.
So, well, sir, what do you want to do? Do you want to enter an admission to violating your probation? Do you want me to appoint a public defender after I make an inquiry as to whether or not you are eligible for a public defender? Do you want to hire your own lawyer? You want to represent yourself?
Be a public defender.
Okay, so you want to do an evidentiary hearing then?
Just want to do whatever it is.
Well, sir, the only way that I'm going to appoint a public defender is if you want an evidentiary hearing. So if you want me to appoint a public defender, I will, if you're eligible for one. Let me ask you this question. Are you working? Were you working before you were arrested?
Yes, sir. I'm unionized local 23. And I'm
Okay, what were you doing what?
working.
Okay, so what were you making? Money wise?
20 bucks an hour.
So what were you taking home?
Roughly, it would vary every.
Okay,
week.
just give me an average.
Range, like 400 bucks.
$400 a week? Yeah, okay. Who did you support with that?
I helped my mom and I provided for my daughter.
Okay, how old is your daughter?
She'll be 3 March 25th.
Does she live with you or does she live with her mother? Or do you live with her mother? I'm sorry?
Get her back and forth.
Okay, so you share custody with her, and how old is she?
She'll be 3 March 25th. She's good now.
So where do you live, sir?
1513 Enchanted Forest.
And who do you live with?
My mother.
So is your mom paying the freight here? You're buying your food and all that?
I support the food for the house and I pay rent.
All right, so what are you paying for food and rent?
I pay around $100 for food and 150 rent.
For the month?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
weekly.
A weekly? Okay.
So,
Do you have any savings, sir?
no, all the rest of my cash goes to my daughter.
Okay. Do you own a vehicle?
No, sir.
Do you have any personal property that's worth $100 that you could sell to hire a lawyer?
Yeah.
Really? How much? How much personal property do you have?
I got a TV,
Okay.
bed, and a couple other things.
Probably not gonna be an awful lot of money there.
I do got a motorcycle that my buddy had at his house. I could scrap it, sure I could get more than $100.
Okay, well, how much do you think you can get for it? Cause it's gonna cost you more than $100 to get a lawyer. Are you ordered to pay child support, sir?
No, sir. I do all this willing.
Is there anybody willing to help you out to hire a lawyer? Or anybody in a financial position to do so?
No, sir. I was gonna see if I could get out my.
Well, we'll deal with that in just a second. So I believe you're eligible for the appointment of a public defender, so I'm going to appoint one. I'm going to set this for an evidentiary hearing. You can talk to your lawyer then, you can enter an admission on that day. That's just for hearing on, March 1st. Hey, let's make sure the PD knows it's an evidentiary hearing for March 1st.
Okay.
9 o'clock. Okay, so, sir, you were talking about bond. Why would you,
Get paid.
huh?
I did get paid last Friday. It wasn't much, but if I could get like a lower bond, I wanted to ask.
Is your bond that right? I don't think you have bond right now. And I think the state's position is you're not entitled to have any bond. Now, they don't make the final decision, but I don't want to speak for them. I'm assuming that's your position that,
It is in this case.
no, sir, what can you afford by way of a bond?
200, 250.
I don't think that's sufficient, sir. And the reason I don't like it, I don't think it's sufficient is because this is the second time, you know, back in December, you continued doing stuff and you didn't do it.
I've been struggling with the vehicle and if you could just give me one more chance, you know.
Sure, I gave you a chance, and I'm not, you know, the case isn't over yet.
Family is gonna be at an extreme, like, without me, I'm the main provider.
Yeah, but see, that's just the point, sir. That's the point. You talk about my family and they need me and I'm the support. Well, why the hell would you be, why would you put yourself and your family in this position? That's the point. And when somebody comes up and says, oh, I need to get back to my family, I need to support them, then I always say what I'm saying to you. Where was that concern prior to that, prior to you being arrested? Where was that concern, sir? I'm hearing a lot of excuses, but I'm not hearing anything that would convince me that you're worthy of taking a chance on, because I did that once before and you didn't do anything. All right, sir. Bond set at $2,500, corporate surety, $250 cash. You have to report to the probation department no later than noon tomorrow. If you don't report to the probation department and you're gonna be on pre-hearing supervision, or whatever the hell they wanna call it, if you don't report by noon tomorrow, guess what? There will be no bond.
Yes, sir.
And I might suggest that you start reaching out in regard to the other requirements you're supposed to follow through on.
Yes, sir.
All right, and you're looking at the possibility of doing community corrections, sir, or prison. You understand that?
Yes, sir, thank you.
Yeah. Your next court date, sir, is March 1st, 9 o'clock.
Thank you, sir.
March 1st, 9 o'clock, sir.
Wow, I bet no one has ever said those words to him in that way in his entire life. And not enough judges say it like that. Not enough judges say it. Look, you're having all these problems. You want help. And even the defense attorneys, when they defend the people, you know, on trial, they're like, well, what's best for this guy is if he would get this help or this help or this help. It's I mean, it's good that they're trying to get help so that this doesn't happen again. But they focus a lot on what's best for the criminal. And, you know, this judge is like, you know, this is your fault. You did this. So that was refreshing. That's refreshing. So now we're gonna go to the Diamond girl that we just had a few seconds of. So we're gonna have to hear that few seconds all over again, but it's worth it.
Thank you.
Last one is a Rhonda Diamond judge. This was formerly a refusal to come to the courtroom. And I think the warrant was served.
You still who is it again?
A Rhonda Diamond.
Okay, second.
I'm not showing her in custody, sir.
No?
No.
Anytime. Served on 1:30.
She refused to come to court. She was in custody on the 26th, refused to come to court. Your Honor issued a bench warrant that was served on the 30th.
She should be in custody.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh. There was no mark next to it.
here she is. All right, so she refused to come to court. I issued a warrant. She's here now. I'm gonna vacate that warrant. What are we doing?
Judge, she also refused to see me at the jail.
Hey, ma'am, you wanna take advantage of having a lawyer, or do you wanna fly it solo? All right, so you're waiving your right to have a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay, so you're gonna have to, you have the short form of the waiver of attorney jail, or you have that 6-page or 3-page waiver? Scott, pardon? You checking?
The 1-page one.
Oh, great, have her sit down, do the 1-page one, and then email it to Scott, will you? Please? All right, hey, ma'am, have a seat, I'm gonna have you go through that form. All right.
And now they laugh at her again.
I'll let you know if she changes her mind. She might change her mind. Let's say this, so let's say that she didn't want to represent herself, but she's gonna be represented by you. When would you plan on coming back?
Could we do March 6th?
Okay, so if you hear from the court, hey, you need to be here on March 6th, you'll know that she changed her mind. If you don't hear anything from us, that means you're out.
Okay.
All right?
Thank
So
you.
sit around here. All right, so Ted Diamond, you done filling out that form? Did you read the whole thing? Well, yeah, sure.
Don't worry, she comes up to the microphone.
So, well, what should be on the form, man? Because it kind of makes me wonder whether you understand what it's even saying.
Right, it says the judge has warned me that a lawyer has skills
Right,
and expertise in preparing for and conducting criminal defense
right,
that I do not have.
right. You disagree with that. You think you have skills as a lawyer, the same skills as a lawyer, ma'am?
Yes.
Oh, okay, all right. So, I am going to warn you that a lawyer has skills and expertise in preparing and conducting a criminal defense that you may not have, and you're telling me you don't. Do you have any legal training, ma'am? Did you go to,
Yes.
okay, did you go to law school or have a paralegal degree?
Yes, I did. Once upon a time.
You did, in what, paralegal or legal, or law degree?
In Kansas City.
Okay, so what did you get a degree, hey, excuse me, ma'am, what did you get a degree in? What, as a paralegal? I'm sorry?
All along. But hold on.
Wait a minute, man, hold on. You have a law degree or don't you?
Not the moment.
Okay, all right. Do you have a paralegal certificate of some sort?
They were there.
They ripped that one up too? Okay.
Yes.
So you have legal training then? That's what you're telling me?
But what I'm saying is, it says investigation and all that, but I signed it, like I said, so.
Well, a lawyer may be in a better position to investigate and question witnesses. I don't know. I don't want to sell you short, but we need to go through this form. You may disagree with it, that's fine, but I will make sure you understand it. That the lawyer may be in a better position to gather appropriate evidence, obtain favorable defense witnesses, prepare and file pre-trial motions, prepare appropriate written jury instructions, present favorable opening and closing statements, examine and cross-examine witnesses at trial, and recognize objectionable prejudicial evidence and testimony, and make objections to it. I think that when you were in front of the magistrate, that they explained what the charge was. I don't know if there's any lesser included offenses. I suppose there could be. You have a right to a lawyer, you have a right to be your own lawyer, that's not an absolute right, ma'am. The judge has warned me that it's dangerous, I'm telling you, it's dangerous, unwise to represent yourself. Here's the reason why I say that, and you can disagree with it all you want. One is that you don't have the training, or if it's been some time since you've had any training, you might be rusty, that a lawyer would have, and I have to hold you to the same standards that I would hold a lawyer to. So I'm gonna expect you to know the rules and proceed. Hang on, ma'am, just a second. I'm gonna expect you to know the rules and the law, and you can't look to me for special treatment. You can't look to me and say, gee, Judge, explain to me what's going on, I don't understand it. I'm gonna expect you to understand that, what the rules are, and follow those rules. Excuse me. The state is gonna have an experienced lawyer on their side. And so it says you have 0 years of education.
Mhm.
You have no education, ma'am?
No, I have an education.
Okay, so how many years of education do you have?
Why?
Lots.
Define that
She
for
said
me.
lots.
That's why I'm 0, I can't find it.
You don't know how many years of schooling? Do you read English? Do you read and understand English? Okay, are you mentally sound?
No.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you said you're somewhat familiar with the rules of evidence and procedure?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Aren't we all?
Okay, ma'am. Let's see. So it says here you're at the homeless center and you don't suffer any sort of mental illness of any sort? No?
Sir, bipolar and
You
everybody.
got- Are you under medication?
Yes.
Good. All right, well, when I see the nature of the offense that you've been charged with, just ignoring the battery, it's a criminal trespass. I come across a lot of people who have criminal trespass charges along with other things and sometimes it tells me that we might be dealing with a mental illness issue, but you're telling me that that's not the case with you. Is that what you're saying, ma'am?
No, I'm saying I'm bipolar.
Okay, all right. You think that affects your ability to understand what's going on today?
Not so far.
Okay, all right, well. Okay, so I've warned you, I've been, you don't wanna hire a lawyer, is that right? Or have one appointed for you, is that also correct? You wanna be your own lawyer, you don't wanna stand by counsel either, is that correct?
Correct.
All right, who's the lawyer up for the state on the other side? I'm gonna let you represent yourself, ma'am.
It's Mr. Gady, Judge.
Okay, so the lawyer that you need to be dealing with will be Mr. Gady, and he's in the prosecutor's office. I'm gonna ask him to reach out and supply discovery to Ms. Diamond, get you to do it the old fashioned way. And so, ma'am, when would you like to come back on your case?
I got a case on, February 14th.
Oh, you do?
Second Street, on Second and High Street.
You got, what case is that?
It's supposed to be February 14th.
Okay, so you have a case on February 14th? Is it a traffic and misdemeanor case or no, is it a
This
felony?
case,
Murder.
Is it a felony case, ma'am?
No,
Do you have
it's
the cause
not
number?
murder.
shouldn't be no felony.
Okay, do you have the cause number for your February 14th court date?
The case number is 71 DO 3 2312 F6 0013
Yeah, that's the case we're here for now, ma'am. That's the case we're here for right now.
They said over a second, filed on 12/22/23.
Okay.
Me on the case.
All right.
Case that's supposed to be, I think, one.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna allow to represent yourself. I do have a question about your competence, so I am gonna ask a couple of doctors to examine you for competency. Okay, because I don't want you to trip yourself up. We'll set this over for 45 days. In the meantime, I'm gonna ask the state to provide, Ms. Diamond, discovery. Just take us to the 30th of March. So let's get this over to March 20th. Hey, ma'am, how long have you been in custody?
It was out of December 22nd,
Okay.
2023.
You don't have a place to live, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right,
They was no lifeguard here.
all right. I will see you on the 22nd, ma'am. All right.
20.
I'm sorry, the 20th. Stand corrected.
The 20th?
The 20th, March 20th, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I missed half of that right now because Texas Vernon is distracting me. He started a great story in chat, but he didn't finish it yet, so I'm waiting. Let's go to an angry judge while I wait.
Okay, so yourself
So this judge gets very angry, but not at who you think he will be.
employed, ma'am? You're working?
No, not employed.
Okay, because you checked that you were. So you don't have a job?
No, I don't have.
Okay,
I might have made a mistake.
all right, that's all right. You're bringing in $914 a month in Social Security,
Yeah.
and you have $1,800 in savings.
Check between checkings. I have checkings.
Okay,
I have $50 in savings.
okay. You don't own a motor vehicle, you don't have any property that you can sell. And you're living in shelters normally?
Yes.
And
Your audio's fine. He's just thinking. Judges get to do that sometimes.
well, man, why didn't you just leave when they told you to leave the hospital?
I've been having some difficulties with that hospital getting important documents that I was concerned with as far as lab results. And they haven't technically been 100% honest with me about some of the lab results that they keep telling me that has been in their records. So I basically got upset with the police officer that he really didn't take my matter seriously.
All right, well, we're not, okay, that's all right, so I get the gist. Here's the deal, though. I don't know why you are in custody, because when I did the review, I reviewed the charge against you. And I signed the, no, I guess. When you were charged, ma'am, and I reviewed the charges, I released you on your own recognizance. That was on 1/3/24. And I guess my order didn't mean a damn thing. You're released from custody, ma'am. I'm going to release you from custody. It would have been nice if somebody had bothered to read what I signed and what I filed. I see that even the magistrate didn't appear to have reviewed this either. But I released you on your own recognizance. I put you on pretrial supervision. You need to go up to the probation department you need to go to the probation department by no later than noon tomorrow.
All right.
All right? So you are released, but don't leave yet. I'm going to appoint the public defender. Your next court date is February 21st. February 21st at 9 a.m.
Where is this at, Your Honor?
in front of Judge Sanford, Sanford.
Is this at the other court building?
It's in courthouse number 3. Hey, Jill, can you write that stuff down for her, please? So we don't have an issue. It's on the 2nd floor, courthouse number 3, 2nd floor. It's where the other courthouses are, right next to the county city building. Courthouse number 3, 2nd floor, Judge Sanford, March 21st, 9 o'clock.
All right, thank you.
Yep, thank you, ma'am.
And happy belated holidays to you all too.
Okay, ma'am, same to you. Remind me.
Wow, I don't know how long she stayed in jail because of that mess up, but he released her and they did not release her. Can you imagine? That would suck. And Texas, you finished your story, and yeah, there's people like that at every job. And there's people who get mad at other employees at every job and they tell on them. I don't know. I don't know if his grandmother died or not, because we do hear it all the time. And yes, they're not always telling the truth. That's just facts. But he did put himself in that situation, just like the judge said. All right. What's her name? Grant. I can't remember her first name. We're going to go to Washington now. Remember, things are slower in Washington. To Judge Grant. I think it's Amy, but that's wrong. Isn't that Amy Grant? Anyway, we'll find out right here. To someone who pleads and begs. It's like your ex, when you break up, they're like, I promise I'll change. I promise.
Next, we can address Mr. Osman. This is arraignment on 4A0143003. Review hearings on 3A0312643, 3A0418181, and 3A0486306. For the record, Sean Parent for Mr. Osman. And we're prepared to waive formal arraignment on the theft 3 and enter a plea of not guilty.
All right. So, Mr. Osman, I have your signed explanation of rights and court procedures for your arraignment today. And I will confirm with you that your true and correct name is Adnan Osman.
Yes, Your Honor.
I have a date of birth of 1/1/1988.
Yes.
And you are receiving mail at God's Little Apron.
Yes, I am.
All right. And you've been charged with theft in the 3rd degree, which is a gross misdemeanor. Mr. Parent's indicating that you're waiving formal arraignment and entering a plea of not guilty.
Yes.
I will enter that not guilty plea on your behalf. I have reviewed the statement of probable cause and have found probable cause in this matter. Bail was set over the weekend, but I will hear from Ms. McDonald on release.
How are you doing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very sorry.
Sorry, I thought that was Mr. Parent. Yes, Your Honor, I am concerned about the facts of this case. I am concerned about the probation violations here, Mr. Osman's behavior. The allegation in this case from the probable cause statement is that he shoplifted a crowbar from the Ace Hardware. I know that Mr. Osman's previous criminal history does have some indication of violent tendencies. And so that's concerning to the city. We have 3 cases that are tracking for review for the same type of behavior. And I would ask that the court impose $1,500 on each of these matters so that he accrues time on the review matters and hold Mr. Osman on this matter pending trial. He does have a history of failures to appear. And then we've got the new violation, similar, same in nature. So there's a recidivism issue.
And Your Honor, given the nonviolent nature of the new charge, he does have a stable address. We would ask the court to release him on his own recognizance with strict conditions.
All right, I have a question as to where you're sleeping at night, Mr. Osman.
Actually, I sleep at my aunt's house, and I don't know the address right now because I forgot, to be honest with you. But I'm not gonna say I will do better or whatever. It's just that I made a mistake, ma'am, and I regret doing it. So I'm sorry for doing this, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Osman, since we sentenced you, you picked up 2 new cases in Linwood for theft.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's allegations of new criminal law violations, including this case with us, but you also have convictions in Linwood. We did add on the review hearings today.
Yes.
And Mr. Parent, do you want to admit or deny the new criminal law violations at this time, or do you want them to be set over with the hearing to address? I mean, they are convictions.
Which jurisdiction is that out of? I'm sorry, I don't have his.
Linwood.
Okay.
So we had, trying to look at the docket. Our
Oh, yeah,
last,
I see those. Those are admitted, but we asked the court to reserve sanction.
She's just thinking. It
all
didn't
right,
freeze.
I'll note the admission. I know, Mr. Parent, that you feel that the God's Little Acre, that's a good address. But that's just a place where he's receiving his mail. I don't know that he's sleeping at his aunt's house. I know that she's been supportive in the past, but I believe he would know that address if that's where he's actually residing. He has a long history of FTAs.
I'm very sorry, Your Honor. And I will make it this time, I promise you. Me and my caseworker, he's the one who tells me when I have court dates. And last time, remember me and him came here, and I know I did a lot of mistakes a while ago, and I missed a lot of court dates, but I've learned from my mistake.
Are you still working with that caseworker?
Yes, I am.
What's his name?
His name is I know his name.
Lies.
Oh my God, I know his name. I swear to God, I know his name. His name is, I know his name. I've been telling my life, I know his name. His name is, I know his name. I swear to God, I do know his name. I have a bad memory, but I don't, his name is,
Take a shot
Spencer.
every time he lies.
There it is. His name is Spencer. I have a bad memory, I hate that.
When did you last talk to Spencer?
It's been a while now because I was supposed to talk to him on Friday.
Lies.
And
okay, so Mr. Osman.
Yeah, man.
People have put a lot of effort into getting you services.
Yes.
And you need to make better choices.
I
We've
will.
talked about this every time you come to court, right? You're on review. You need to make better choices. You need to let Spencer work with you and help you. But right now, I don't believe that you're in a stable
I'm supposed
spot
to
to come back to
Sorry.
court. So I'm going to maintain the bail at $1,000. And
Your Honor, I just got out of jail Thursday. I got released on Thursday. I did 50 days, Your Honor, and I'm fresh out, and I really
got out on last Thursday.
I just got out the last Thursday. I just got out, and I did
Okay.
50
And
days,
then
Your
on
Honor.
Friday, you have a new allegation.
Yes, exactly. And like I said, Your Honor, I made a mistake. I know I've done a lot of time, and this is not giving me an excuse. I'm very sorry.
Lies.
All right, bail is going to be maintained. I'm going to give you these conditions if you are able to post bail. You're to come to all your court hearings. You're to let us know if your address changes. We'll use that God's Little Acre to communicate with you by mail. You're going to have a court date in hand that you'll be signing for. You are to have no contact with Ace Hardware, commit no criminal law violations. I'm going to directly appoint Mr. Parent to represent you.
Your Honor.
And we'll set an in-custody pretrial for you.
I need help.
And I know you don't like being in
Lies.
custody, but Mr. Osman, you were just released. And I just don't think that you are a good candidate based upon your FTA history and recidivism to come back on your own promise.
I need help, Your Honor.
Lies.
I need
Let's
help.
get get your case manager to make contact with you in custody. And if you can set up a release plan with Mr. Parent and your case manager, you can present that to the court.
I'm in jail.
Okay.
I'm in jail though. I can't talk to my case manager.
Lies.
I mean, how am I gonna get a hold of him, and how is that gonna happen, Your Honor? And I just got out of jail Thursday, and I'm not trying to stay in jail for a long time.
I don't want you to stay in jail any longer than you have to, but you need to abide by the court's order.
Okay, yes,
So-
you're right. Sorry,
Lies.
I know.
Let's set this, we're gonna do the 60-day speedy trial. That will be 4/12/24. We'll set a quick turn for hearing for you, Mr. Osman.
I don't want to do no more jail time. I'm tired of doing jail time, man.
Truth.
I need help. That's what
Lies.
I need help. I really do need help, Your Honor.
Your pretrial will be 2.
And I have a case pending. I'm scared, Your Honor. I'm scared, Your Honor. I know the city don't like me. I know that. And to be honest with you, I really am a good person, Your Honor.
Lies.
And I'm tired of doing jail time. I just want
Truth.
And to be honest with you, I know I said this a lot of times that I will stop doing this. And I said, see that's why I'm not gonna say no more, because I've said it 100 times to you.
Mr. Osman, I know you very well. I know you're a good person. I know that you did really well for a while and you were coming by court and looking really good and following through. But somewhere along the way, you lost whatever progress you were making. So right now, I'm going to keep you in custody unless you can post that bail. And I'll see you in 2 weeks. So I'm going to see you February 26th at 9:45 a.m. We're going to have you sign for your obligations if you're able to get released. Mr. Parent will try to reach out to your case managers. We did this for you last time.
I know that, Your Honor, but
And if there can be a release plan in place, we can revisit that, okay?
thank you, Your
But
Honor.
Mr. Spencer will probably say he just lost contact with you. And so that, these things happen, but you need to, Mr. Osman, I want you to get back on track. Okay?
And I will,
And
Your
so we're
Honor.
going to have you sign for this. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
It's too long. I just did 50 days, Your Honor. I know you're gonna have it even longer, Your Honor. I know that.
Mr. Parent, do you want bail set on the reviews as well?
Yeah, I think it makes sense to put nominal bail on those.
Honor.
Why don't we set on your tracking review matters so you get credit for the time you're serving? I'll set $250 on each of the reviews.
Your Honor, I'm very sorry for doing what I do. I am
Lies.
very dumb and very stupid.
Okay, you
Your
don't have to
Honor.
say anything about that.
Yeah, you don't talk about that stuff,
Sorry about
okay?
that.
We'll see you in 2 weeks, Mr. Osman.
Thank you, Your Honor. Yes, I'm sorry. Oh, man, I just got out of jail. 50 days already. I'm sorry for saying them words.
Lies.
Weeks.
Just one. You're doing one for each. Okay.
Your Honor, I'll tell you this though. This time is the last time you see me in jail. I promise you. I'm not gonna say I
Except-
promise
Get
you.
this one done.
Except.
Yeah, I'm
All right.
this one done. And then I have another case that's coming up. The assault 3. Okay. All right.
This is my last
But
time, except for the ones
I
that
will
are coming.
stop going to jail.
I want better for you, Mr.
Lies.
Osman.
Thank you, Your Honor. You're very nice. You're good. Good. I need help, Your Honor. That's what I need.
He
I
doesn't want
need
help.
I need help, Your Honor. Can you put me on treatment?
You have been told to get treatment. I think Spencer will help you get some treatment.
Your Honor, I'm very sorry, Your Honor, but I can't, I mean, I am.
Mr. Osman, I made my decision for right now, okay?
Okay, sorry.
Next matter will be for Nicholas Torres.
My favorite part of that was, you'll never see me in court again. I'll never come here again. Well, except for the cases that I have coming. And I guess he wasn't lying so much when he said he needs help. You know, that's probably true. But he does not want help. So there's no help that's going to help. But, you know, maybe, guys, maybe. All right, we're going to end tonight with Victoria. Let's end with Victoria because we love Victoria.
Do I have Sean Dinwiddle present? Sean Dinwiddle?
It's pronounced Dinwiddie.
Oh, Dinwiddie. I'm sorry. I don't have good eyes, sir. Did you have a chance to watch the entire Advice of Rights video?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. And did you understand that video?
No, not really, but that don't matter. I'm just really here to say, yo, bailiff, I want to make a complaint against him for delivering
okay, well,
mail.
Mr. Dinwiddie, this is a court. I need to make sure that you understand your Advice of Rights. And if that video didn't explain it for you, then you and I have to go through all of that.
Dinwiddie.
Do you want to speak with an attorney from Lakeshore Legal?
No, the rent is already paid. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I only came to the court to tell you about your bailiff for real, and because they want me to pay legal fees. My stuff been paid. I don't have problems paying my rent.
All right. Well, I don't know what that would have to do with my bailiff. Mr. Losif, are you ready on any matters? I know that you had been in some breakout rooms.
Yes, Your Honor. The breakout rooms individuals, so we can.
Okay, I have to explain just a little bit because she stopped there. She just stopped talking to him completely and moved on to a different case. That was it at first. And if you ever watch Victoria's courtroom, she mutes and she stops the live feed often for no reason. So she skipped a part of his case here. But there's two different attorneys in this courtroom right now. There's Timothy. He's there as a public defender, a free legal aid. He's there to give free legal advice. And then there's, I think it's Michael. No, it's not Michael. It's Iosif or whatever. He's down at the bottom. He's the lawyer for the apartment complex that Dinwiddie owes rent to. So Victoria gave everybody an option. You can either speak to legal aid or you can speak to the lawyer to see if you can come to an agreement on your rent. So what happened was Dinwiddie just spoke to Timothy Bitchoff, or Bitchoff, I can't remember his name, the top right-hand corner. And now Victoria's gonna talk to them about that. And then we skip a bit because she stopped the feed. And I had to go find a whole nother YouTube video for the rest of it, which I didn't get much of, but we got enough.
Dinwiddie?
May I have the case number for Dinwiddie?
Okay, but yeah, it is
I got it. 327. That one's still proceeding.
Okay, it is still proceeding. All right. So, Mr. Dinwiddie, you're refusing to meet with Mr. Yosef as well as Lakeshore Legal. Am I understanding that correctly, sir?
No, you never asked me that.
Yes, you did.
I did. Do you want to meet with either Lakeshore Legal or Mr. Yosef?
Can I meet with Lakeshore first and then go meet with the other one?
Absolutely. We'll put you in a room so you can talk to Lakeshore, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Dinwiddie, do you want to speak with the attorney from your apartment complex?
Yes.
Okay, I'll put you in a room for that. Did you have fruitful discussions with Lakeshore?
No, they weren't able to see me.
They can't represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, give us just a second and I'll get you in a room as soon as we have some available.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Hi, Mr. Besson, did you have something you wanted the court to know? I know you met with Mr. Kenyatta, or I'm sorry, with Mr. Dinwiddie.
Just that we were not able to assist with that one. They were overqualified. If there are any other defendants that need to speak to Lakeshore Legal Aid for free legal advice, we are available. If no one is looking for our advice at this point in time, we will leave the court.
Okay. Does anyone want free legal advice? Outside of court to make sure.
Is that Matthew Pallets?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir, you're all set.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right, you too. Okay. And
so I started it right where she picked up on the next video with him. So apparently he came in very angry about the bailiff who served him papers, which the bailiffs don't do. That's the sheriff, most likely. And then he spoke to the one lawyer, but the legal aid couldn't help him or give him any advice. So then he spoke to the apartment complex lawyer. And he says that he pays all the rent except for legal fees. That was what's only left. I don't quite believe that, only because the lawyer said the case is still going. So I don't know. I'm not sure what to believe. But she fixed his attitude. Whatever his attitude was, she fixed it. So he left at the end happy. And she's been nice lately. She's been trying to get confrontational people and being very nice to them lately. I don't know why, but she did it again. And that was it. I just thought it was funny because he was so rude, and my heart broke for him because you don't be rude to her. She'll get you. She will get you. So I can't remember if I told you guys this or not, so I'm going to tell you again just in case. On my older videos, I used to watch, Giles. Judge Giles. He was like my favorite guilty pleasure, was just watching Judge Giles. I barely ever posted any of his cases on here, but he would just yell at attorneys all day long. He never stopped yelling at attorneys all day long. And then he had this box in his courtroom right in the middle of the floor. And it was always there. And I know that some people say they put the box there so that people don't trip over the cord, which is so stupid to me, because I fill that box. I waited every court case for someone to fall over that box, but they never did. Well, he hasn't had a case in months. I know that he's still doing his thing because when I see first arraignments, I can see them being sent to Giles, but there's no cases. He's not publicizing them anymore, which stinks. So we don't get to see any more Judge Giles cases. So if anybody sees that Giles started to post his cases again, tell me, because I miss Judge Giles. I loved watching him. I think that's it. That's the only thing I kept forgetting to tell you. And now I told you. But I'll forget that I told you, and then I'll probably tell you 3 more times. But that's okay. Just fast forward. Oh, it's live. You can't. Oh, gosh. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming out today. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you again soon. Good night.